West India Company was created June the 3rd in 1621. The main reason it was created was to combat other colonial powers like Spain and Portugal. This company is not what our idea of a company is. This is all part of an economic system called mercantilism. Under this system, the colonial powers would take in raw resources from their colonies and ship them to their mother country, which would refine the raw resources and turn them into exportable goods. It's a sort of capitalism, but with government control, such as the Dutch West India Company, which was chartered to not only combat other countries economically, but also to make their mother country money. Their mother country was the Netherlands, and since it was chartered, it was legally a monopoly on the entire market for raw resources all across the globe, and it also participated in the Atlantic slave trade. This charter was all in hopes to stifle competition between Spain and Portugal. It was also one of the primary factors for getting the Dutch into the New World by helping establish colonies like the New Netherlands.
So the States General of the Netherlands writes the charter of the Dutch West India Company in 1621, and at the beginning you can see how he talks about how the country depends on navigation and trade, and you can kind of get the feel early on that, beforehand while reading this, you can tell he's trying to get to some kind of trade agreement, and then we start to understand that this trade agreement is favoring trade in the Americas, the New America, and the West Indies, which at the time were big trading partners with Spain and Portugal. And so this is kind of like an economic warfare going on between these countries. And at the time, trading is everything, and the more that you can trade, the more options you have, the more of a economic powerhouse you can have. And so basically just the first two sections of the charter just talk about where he says whoever tries to trade, like if you try to trade without the agreement, then you are going to have to forfeit your ships and all the goods on it. But if you set sail before July 1st, 1621, then you're okay, because that's when the charter goes into place. And then it also gives the State General power to make contracts, leagues, and alliances with the rulers of those nations. And he can also build fortresses, appoint governors, soldiers, officers of justice, and can establish colonies.
So some of the benefits that came with the economic empire of the Dutch West India Company were just some different things like traded goods such as fur, sugar, gold, and they even traded the people that were already enslaved to send them to plantations and fields to work, different kinds of farms, all kinds of different places like that. So they used all kinds of different things to trade. Another good benefit that came with the company, or like the barter, was that the company, the privileges that the company was given. So they were able to pass freely with their ships and their goods without having to pay any tolls to the United Provinces. So they could pass through with all of their ships and all of their goods and all of anything that they had, and they wouldn't have to pay anything towards the United Provinces. And then also another really big thing was that they were able to live like free citizens among the country, just like any other people would.